Can I be honest with you for a second? Making this video, like, I had to go through so many thoughts just to decide to make this video because for some reason, when I open up and tell you all my struggles or tell anyone my struggles, it makes me feel weak. It makes me feel like a failure. But this video isn't for that. I'm putting this out here to inspire. And sometimes that brings chills to me because I know one day I'm going to look back and be proud of me putting this out here because a lot of people who are content creators and business owners and tell you they can make you money online or they make money online aren't going to share the vulnerable parts of their story. But I know the purpose God has for me. Um, Me sharing this story, it's not me complaining either. I just want this to be a vulnerable moment because sometimes I feel like I can get wrapped up into the analytics and teaching you all, but not letting you all know the struggles that come with an online business or being an entrepreneur. Right? So, anyways, y'all read the video correctly. And I don't want to make it sound too deep, but yeah, working a 9 to 5, looking for a 9 to 5 was not in my plan at all. For those who have been following my journey, you know, back 4 or 5 years ago, I started as an online fitness coach. I spent my last dime on investing into a mentorship that taught me how to use Instagram for free to make money online. And I had to get really good at communicating and talking to people and talking to a camera and building up my confidence and knowing how to make content and knowing how to package something so someone would want to pay me $1,000 to $3,000 over a 45-minute conversation. Whew. Now I did that for 3 years, right? And so fast forward, I'm in my third apartment that God has blessed me with. And just around a year ago, my girl, my significant other, recommended that I start something called affiliate marketing, which is basically you recommending someone else's product or service and you getting paid when someone else signs up. And I'm like, I don't know how that works. But she was telling me because she wanted to promote my business, my fitness business, and she would make a commission. And I'm like, shoot, that's a really great idea. All that is a referral. Like I already do this with my clients, right? You're a part of the program. If you have your friends sign up for the program to lose weight or build muscle, then I'll give you a discount or a month for free. But instead, yeah, she would be one of the people that would be an affiliate. And once I learned more about this business, I decided I wanted to pivot fitness because I had always in my heart, I had always wanted to teach people how to monetize themselves because I'm passionate about that. I've always been passionate about it, even before I was into fitness. Like in high school, I was flipping airheads for profits. And I would go to Sam's Club, which is like a warehouse grocery store, and you could buy a whole bunch of chips for a very cheap price, and then I would sell them individually. I always had that entrepreneurial mindset, like many of you who watch my videos. And so I decided to pivot. Now, at the time, my fitness business was struggling then. Like, let me be real with you. My business has always, like, it struggled for more months than it hasn't. And it's not because I never knew how to make money, but it was because my expenses were so high that I had to keep up with them. For example, my rent was around almost $2,000 a month. I don't know where you live, but in Virginia, for what you get, people could say it's fair or not, whatever. The point is, I just wasn't making enough money to live that lifestyle. And I wasn't even being flashy. Like my highest bill was the rent. I didn't have a car note. I didn't buy things that are too flashy, right? I bought an Apple Watch Ultra. I have this iPhone 14 Pro Max. I have this iPhone 12, it's been paid off ever since I started my business. So my expenses weren't really like off of the flashy things, but it came a point in time where I would hit a really high month and I would ball out, right? I consider myself balling out. I would buy studio gear. I would buy a fancy camera. When I would make money, I would get excited about spending it. And it led me down a path of poverty, having a poverty mindset. So anyways, when I started this new business with making money online, I sold some of my camera gear that I had bought with my fitness business to start this business. And I decided I was going to start simple by using my phone camera and my laptop, and boom, we're going to get it, right? And we did. Don't get me wrong. My first month, I think I made about $1,000 within the first 2 weeks of starting this business. My second month, I made around $4,000 or $5,000. My third month, $6K. Okay. And this is just me like sharing my story. Like I can't do what these other entrepreneurs or creators do on this platform and fake things for you. Like I'm not here to flex, but I know I made that much and it was consistently coming in, at least for me to be in this apartment right now, because I had to show income proof of making $6,000 for the past 3 months in my business. I was even surprised I made that much money, but it was because I wasn't handling my money correctly. And this is 2024. Fast forward, I'm getting so excited about this business because there's so many different aspects for me to learn, and I've gotten addicted to learning. I've gotten addicted to taking action. Like I do this full time. And when you have something to do full time and you're not being managed by someone, you can get distracted by other solutions that have worked for others. And I got so distracted last year, man. I got so distracted. I started talking to other entrepreneurs who said they could grow my business, started looking for other solutions, started to see how I can make money faster, started to see if I could, just, oh my gosh. I have never been lazy in this business, but I might have been too busy. And it led me down a path of scarcity because around June of 2024, my income started to decrease because I was comparing myself. I was looking for multiple solutions. I'm like, hey, well, if I'm selling this product and I'm making $800 a day, well, what happens if I do this and I do that and I go here and I go here? And what if I hire this person? And what if I have fancier videos? All of it took me away from the main goal, was just to share my story, my journey with you, to impact lives. What if I can retire my girl and make sure that everything is straight, right? Because that's what I want. Like many of you, you probably want to take care of your loved ones. What if I pay my parents back with the loans that they co-signed for? Like I have these big goals, but business doesn't always go in the way that you want it to. We know that because that's life. And I hit a hurdle where my money, like at a certain time of 2024, I ran into a bank era where I wasn't able to deposit all of my money into my personal account to pay rent. And they were paying me like 70% of what I was earning. And they were paying me in increments. So if rent was due on the 1st, then I was gonna make I could see $4,000 in my online business, but it had to get transferred to my personal account. And so if rent was due on the 1st and my money wasn't gonna arrive until the 12th, then we have a problem. Then we have late fees. And so I ran into scarcity and I'm like, okay, how can I solve this problem? It took away from me earning more money. It took away from me obviously being able to pay rent like I needed to, with late fees racked up. It was literally probably only 1 month where I was late, but the whole point is it's extra money going down the drain and I'm still living the same lifestyle as if it's not happening, and my income is decreasing slowly because I wasn't managing it correctly. I fell into scarcity and I was like, I'm going back to a 9-to-5. I've logged that for you all. Go back and check. I've logged it for you. I told you I was working at UPS. I told you that I was doing door-to-door sales for a solar company because I was in scarcity. But then I realized if I'm gonna work hard working for someone else, then why not do it for myself and just focus, Jay? Focus, right? Focus on what was already working and just scale it. So I went back to my business, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months. But because of that weak moment in my business, because of that huge dip, I'm still picking up all the pieces. It's not that I'm not making money, but it is not coming in enough. It's slowed down. I've had to have a realization with myself is that looking for a 9-to-5 isn't something to be shameful for, but it is something to be grateful for because it is predictable. right? I don't like to call it that because I believe that we need to, like, if you don't show up to work, you ain't gonna get paid either way. But I have realized that having your expenses paid gives you freedom of the mind. And let me be real with you, like it brings chills to me, man, because I know the right person is gonna hear this and it's gonna impact you because you need to hear it. I needed to hear this. And sometimes I can be so stubborn to where I don't want to hear from anyone else because I think I'm so right? But it's taken away from my creativity. Like the poverty mindset has taken away from my creativity, man. I I couldn't have imagined that. Like you would think, oh, the worst that I have to lose is the apartment. Cool. Well, I'm pretty sure I know someone that doesn't mind me laying on a couch for a couple of weeks, even if I have to pay rent and find a job, fine. I was never afraid of losing what I have because I've had stuff and I've lost stuff. You get what I'm saying? The Lord giveth and he taketh away. So I don't try to get so attached to physical things. But my creativity, you mean me talking in front of the camera, inspiring people, something that I've always had? That's like, why do I have to dig so deep to do that, right? As an entrepreneur, this is who I am. So I have a couple lessons that I want to share with you all. With the years that I have done business, where I'm going now, this video wasn't planned out, okay? We're gonna get into number one, okay? The struggles of entrepreneurship. I got 4. You need to be aware of these because I'm working on them. I've worked on them and I'm improving them, and I'm gonna build my business again. I'm gonna build myself back up. I'm gonna build my business back up. Number 1, learning curves. If you do not know how to get a certain result by a specific amount of time, you are going to struggle unless you have someone else do it for you. So you're either going to pay with your time and efforts, or you're either going to pay with your money. And with me, I've done both. But when you don't have the money, you have to learn. You have to put in the time. You have to learn. All right? And for me, that's why I got so addicted to investing in myself, even if it was my last dollar. Even if it meant that I had to pay a bill late, it meant that I was going to learn a skill. There's been so many times where I've learned a skill in enough time for me to pay my bills and not have to struggle. But I'm tired of it. And I'm not quitting, but I am telling myself, Jay, we got to do something better because you know enough. You know more than enough. I've taught people how to, and it's not even a flex, y'all. Like I've taught people how to get results and they're beginners, and I know my stuff because I've had people who had 29 followers and I helped them make 3 sales in 40 minutes. Simple things that I've learned that I've spent over probably $15,000 on in 3 to 4 to 5 years of learning. I can teach someone to get the result without having to go through the struggle like me. But I still have learning curves. You still have learning curves. So you need to understand you're either going to pay with your time and efforts, or you're going to pay with your money. And the most important thing to me with the learning curve is not to know what to do anymore. It's what to learn, what not to do. Because I know so many ways to make money online. I know so many avenues. I've made every single path that I've shared with my channel and with you all on how to make money. I've made money from it. I ain't gonna tell you nothing that I haven't done. I'm not that type of entrepreneur or content creator. Struggle number 2 is time management. There's been so many times where I've thought, well, if I have a calendar and I do the tasks, I'm going to progress. If I manage my time better, I'm going to progress in my business. I'm going to make more money. It's far from the truth. And I'm going to say that because, yeah, we all get the same 24 hours. You're going to hear that everywhere you look for a motivational speech. But I'm here to tell you it's more important about what you do with the time versus the time you have. So you can look at your calendar all you want and be like, well, I'm going to work today from 12 to 4 because that's the time I have available and I'm going to work on my business. No, what are you doing in that time? Most important thing in business, especially when you're starting a new one or you're a fresh entrepreneur, you need to focus on sales and marketing. It's not about having the prettiest this or having the nicest cover or the highest quality video. It's about sales and marketing. You need to make the money. Then you can worry about the other stuff later. You making the money proves that other people want what you have to offer. But if you have the nice setup, if you feel all organized, you know what I'm saying? You got all your cards lined up and people still don't want what you offer, then you have a marketing and sales issue and you're still not going to make any money. So you need to focus on sales and marketing in your time management. Learn how to get better at sales. Learn what systems and processes you want to use in order for you to make money online and stick with it. The number three struggle is self-belief. This is a lonely road, man. like there's sometimes where it gets so dark. I'm like, dang, man, like, why do I feel like this? You know, I knew it was going to be lonely, but it's lonely. I mean, even when you're around people and you're like in the back of your head, you know you got a problem to solve in your business. You know you have a fire to put out, and it's like everybody else. And I'm not jealous or envious in any type of way. I'm just letting you know what you go through mentally, man. So when I'm out here sometimes and, you know, like you see people who might work a regular 9 to 5 and you're out in public and people are like, you hear their conversations and they're like, maybe you're at a restaurant and you're like, what do I want to eat? And they might have a conflict within themselves or their family about what they want to eat. You know, just random conversation. In the back of your head, you like, okay, I got to choose something to eat too, but dang, I know I'm struggling with this in my business right now. I need to get this straight, right? Well, people who work a 9 to 5, they don't necessarily worry about them things. They ain't like that. Like the things that I hear them worry about is, oh, I got to go to work at this time. Oh, I can't do this. I got to work, right? Well, as an entrepreneur, you don't get paid for your time. You get paid for the problems you solve. So if the problem isn't solved and it's lingering in the back of your head, if you care about the people that you're helping, you know what I'm saying? So I care, and I don't want people to struggle the way I have. And so it's always in the back of my head, man. It's always in the back of my head. It's like, what can I be doing that's better? And I don't think it's a bad thing. I do think it's a thing that you have to learn how to control and say, okay, I'm going to solve this solution by this time and get it done with. Your self-belief in yourself, like how you talk to yourself is so important, man. It's so important. It's so important. It's so important. It's literally the most important thing, because how you see yourself is how other people will see you. And you're going to treat yourself how you think of yourself. So your self-belief matters. Sometimes I don't feel like getting dressed, getting on this camera. Sometimes I don't feel like giving myself a haircut. If y'all know, like I taught myself how to be my own barber. You know, it's not the most perfect cut, but I taught myself how to be my own barber, because at a certain point I couldn't afford getting a haircut. I get a haircut every week now, just so I can improve how I look at myself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like presentation, right? I'm not going to get too deep into the self-belief, but you need to learn how to talk to yourself in a positive way, because if not, you're going to self-sabotage yourself. Struggle number 4 is working hard does not equal more money. This is something that I'm still working on, y'all. As an employee, as a guy who's gone through school, we're taught that the harder you work, the more you get paid. The more effort you put in, the more you get paid. That doesn't work like that in business. You can put in 10 hours today and you not get paid a dime. It's more about the problems that you solve. It's more about the systems that you have in place. This is not a flex, but usually around the people who, know me in person, they're like, man, you work so hard, you deserve more. Yeah, I believe that too. If you're watching this, you probably believe that too for yourself. You work hard, right? It doesn't matter how hard you work. If you don't work enough in the right areas, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to make money for a living. You're going to fall into scarcity. It is hard picking up a business that you have fallen off from. It's easier to start a new business where you haven't had any results than it is to have a business that's gotten good results and you being like, dang, how can I pick this back up? Because you had it at one point. You had it on lock. I remember last year around the same time, 2024, I was in a great mindset. I was like, yo, I made $1,000 in 1 week passively. Passively. It's crazy to me. Why do I feel more behind now than I did back then? And I was a beginner. It's because I didn't have it. I didn't have any bar to expect. Like my mindset was, if I didn't make $1 in the first 6 months of starting this business, I'm okay because this is a new business. Well, guess what? I've been doing it for over a year, at least with the Make Money Online industry. I've been doing it for over a year and I'm struggling still? I mean, just to pay bills? Working hard doesn't mean you make more money. I started working harder and harder and harder and harder every single week, every single month, because I had new goals. I had compared myself to multiple people, and I didn't realize that I needed to focus on what Jay is good at and what's working for Jay, and not what other people are recommending. Right? So anyways, I want to get into my plan of moving forward. I know this video is all over the place, but again, I told y'all I'm gonna be real with y'all, completely transparent. I got 4 things that I'm gonna do moving forward. Number 1 is either look for higher education or employment, whether that means me going back to college in fall of 2025 or getting employment as a remote job or some job where I don't have to be micromanaged. I need a reliable source of income right now so I can get my creativity back. You know, I still have my creativity. I can pull it out. But I figure now, like, I feel like there's a certain point where I'm like, I gotta have certain things taken care of so I can just freely just, put out this content for y'all. Be creative, help my students. Because that's part of my job too. It's marketing, right? Gotta be in a good headspace. Number 2, savings. I need to have enough savings in order for me to take care of bills if business doesn't do as well. And I can get my savings and build that up through my business, or I can do it through working a 9 to 5. I ain't lazy. I can do both. And that's just maybe what I have to do in order to pick myself back up. Do something that I'm very uncomfortable with doing, which is being micromanaged by someone to a certain degree. But it was all for my own decisions. It was all for my own mistakes, and I own up to it. Number 3 is lowering my expenses or making more money. Hands down, I'm completely for making more money, but I've realized lowering my expenses. My highest expense right now is just my rent. So if that means having to move back in with family for a month or 2 months in order to save up to go back into my own space, fine. Or get an office space, fine. My business only takes about $150 a month to run. My profit margins are around 150%. I have the business set up profitably. That's my DoorDash calling. So give me a second. We're going to get on point number 4. Okay, so don't judge. I told you I'm going to be transparent in these videos. So I got DoorDash. I got some Chick-fil-A. All right. I'm going to eat that after I make this video. But I wanted to get up here and continue on. I'm going to let y'all know, too, it was a DoorDash credit. I ain't balling out on no DoorDash while I'm talking about how my business has been struggling and where I'm taking it and picking it back up. Okay, it was a credit and it was $0. All right, I don't want to contradict myself. So what I'm getting to, guys, is basically me looking for a 9 to 5. I had to realize that, yes, I want the best life, right? I want you to have the best life too. That's why I make this content, okay? But sometimes we have to, as entrepreneurs, be in a position of vulnerability in order to grow. And I was just sitting here, again, I was doing my work, I was making content. I actually paused my tasks that I was gonna do today on Instagram, and I realized I just need to let this out. Because letting it out is gonna help me feel better about the situation. Because now I'm not sitting in my own pity being like, man, why is my business not, it's picking up. Y'all, it's picking up. My business is picking up. But at the same time, I needed to pick up a little bit quicker. All right, I needed to pick up a little bit quicker. I was going to show y'all on my phone, but just know within the last 30 days, we went from 20,000 views to almost 90,000 views. That's like profile visits. Like my traffic has picked up, and we've made sales too. We've made sales too. But I am tired of just having my, like, feeling like my necessities can't be met. I know they can be met, and I know I don't live a lavish lifestyle. I know it can be covered easily if I just pick up something on the side, or just simply make more money, or just have enough in the savings just to take care of monthly expenses. Whichever comes first. God only knows. I'm gonna try all the routes, right? I'm signing up for these jobs, remote jobs, driving jobs, jobs that I can, get on my phone and post content, boom, get back to work, make a quick vlog, get up here, right? But I need something that's going to allow me to have the bills paid without me having to be like, okay, I gotta create this piece of content so I can pay my bills. Like, no, I get to make content. I get to have a community of you all who appreciate the value that I give out. And I don't want to feel like I have to make money off of doing these things in order for me to have a lifestyle that's just normal. Right? I'm gonna make the money regardless. It's just that I don't want to feel that way with my efforts, right? Business is enjoyable for me. Which leads me to the last thing with my thing that I'm moving forward in is now learning business SOPs, which stands for, hold on, this is my learning curve right now. Standard operations and procedures, right? So imagine if you walk into Subway and they're like, hey, welcome to Subway. And then you go to the front of the line and they're like, so you want a 6-inch or you want a foot long? And you're like, I want a foot long. And they're like, okay, what kind of bread? And you're like, let me get the Italian bread. And then they're like, okay, what kind of meat? And you're like, let me get turkey. That's a SOP, right? They have to ask you those questions in a specific order in order for you to get the end result. They're giving you a service and a product at the same time, but they ask you in a specific order. And that's what it is. That's what happens with successful businesses. They make things in a specific order. At one point, honestly, for the past 4 years of my business, me making money online, I've made over 6 figures online. I really never had an SOP. I never had a process of, okay, well, if it's content creation day, this is the process I'm going through. Okay, well, if I need to record content, this is the process I'm going through. Okay, if I need to check on my students, this is the process I'm going through. If I want to create a new product, this is the process I'm going through. If I want to create a new video for YouTube, this is the process I'm going through. If I need to track my expenses and my finances, this is the process I'm going through. I know it sounds boring, but that's what keeps you having a strong foundation. And that's why business can feel like it's falling all apart. And these are systems in place. And so for me, there's 2 things that I'm doing. I'm applying this to my own business, and it's really helping out so much because it makes it easier for me to create without having to rely on creativity, right? Which is, I don't want to say it's an emotion, but it's a state of mind. And then I'm teaching this to my students, so they don't have to go through this. It's crazy how life works, man, but I just wanted to be honest. I feel better just letting this out. I know this is a longer video. I just had to do it. So if you watch the end of this video and you've reached the end, type in the comment section. Keep going, right? And it's not for me, it's for you. It's for you because you kept going in the video. I'm vulnerable so it can inspire y'all, man. Like, I feel better about it. And I appreciate every single one of you all. I'm going to bring you along the journey. And there's going to be probably parts where I still feel uncomfortable with sharing, but I know it's going to change so many lives. I know it is. Because sometimes I just be imagining to myself, if I leave this earth and I'm up in heaven with God, man, like, what do people have to look at on this earth? Like, did I leave a good seed? I don't care about money no more, man. At that point, how many lives could I have helped change, So I know that sounds deep and it can sound dark, but I know I'm not promised tomorrow. And me allowing my own self-loathing thoughts to not be vulnerable because of an ego would destroy me quicker than it would ever help me or anyone else. So anyways, thank you for watching. We're going to get back into the roll of things, man. Happy New Year. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.